We are here in beautiful Collinsville, Alabama, and I'm going to say this, and it may offend people, and I really don't care. This is the most beautiful backdrop in Alabama high school football. I'll take the Pepsi challenge on that. Well, with that being said, this young man in front of me, I'm going to let him introduce himself this time.
Daniel Garrett, head football coach, Collinsville High School.
Coach Garrett, it's great coming out here again and seeing you and talking to you. I remember seeing you at Madison Academy and meeting you for the first time when I come to interview you, got to know you. And what you're doing here in Collinsville, I really like it. The things you're doing, the energy you bring, love all of it. But this is a preseason video for this upcoming season. But before we dive into this upcoming season, take us back to last year, some of the things you learned about the city of Collinsville and the team itself.
Well, I learned, as I was told, that came true, that this town's got some of the best community support around. A lot of great people in this community, in the school that, you can call at any moment. They'll come help you, and we, even with all the COVID, I think we made the most on the gates that any team's ever made around here. And that's just because the community supports football, loves these kids, and that turned out, like I said, true, just as I expected it to be, and that was a pleasant surprise, and well, not really a surprise, but it was encouraging to see that they care that much about this program.
No doubt. Now, Coach, let's fast forward a little bit. This is going to be this is a very important offseason for you. You've had these guys for a year now. They're going through your program for a year. Take us from basically spring practice to right now, what you're looking at as a team.
Well, we didn't do this. We took the extra week in the fall,
okay,
and taking that fall jamboree the week before week 0. So all we really had was a spring evaluation where we came out, 2 days a week, for 2 hours. I think that's the rule. So you got so many hours a week that you can do, and that's what we did. To now we're just trying to, make sure that everyone knows the plays, knows their job, executes their job on offense and defense, and about to start doing a bunch of special teams as well. And so we're just really trying to, fine-tune the small details to, be successful this next year.
Coach, let me ask you a question. This place is unique, like we've talked about. Did you ever imagine when you got this job, being in a place like this, when you got into your career, ended up in a place like this, very special, that you had no ties with?
I expected that, just to be honest with you.
Did you?
I've lived in a lot of different places. I've coached in a lot of different places to where, my first job was in Nashville, Tennessee. I didn't know anybody up there. I'd never really lived away from home. So, after that point, I got a taste of being away, and I learned it wasn't so bad. You had to, once you move away from home, you gotta kind of learn how to manage that. And I feel like I did. And, these small towns that have a lot of community support, it's just a lot of fun. And you go some places to where you don't have all that, and it's discouraging when no one notices. And but at Collinsville, you don't have to worry about that because everyone's all in.
Bought in.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it about this team? It's a little bit different from last year's team. What is this team's identity since you had your hands back on it?
So, we lost a very good group of seniors, and, some guys like Blake Sparks, Dalton Hughes. So that was obviously a hit. Every year you lose good players, but, we're going to be, young, but we're very hungry. We got a lot of key, we got a strong junior class that we're really going to lean on this year. We got some rising sophomores that are going to contribute a lot as well. We're going to have some freshmen that's going to have to contribute. So it's really been fun to see some of these guys really grow from. There's one guy by the name of Andres Garcia that when we got here last year, he was just kind of another guy, and now he's one of the main ones. He's really worked hard to transform his body, and he'll be one of the key players for us this year, simply because he's bought into everything. He works as hard, if not harder, than anyone else, and he refuses just to say no. He's going to find a way, and that's what we want to embody here at Collinsville is a lot of people like that. We may not look the part when we get off the bus, but we're going to have 11 guys that are going to absolutely fight their guts out every single play. And, it's like I told somebody the other day, if we got that, then I'll sleep just fine at night, and we're going to be successful because, that's to me, that's what it takes to win, not only in this game but in life.
Yep, that's exactly right. Who are some of the guys that you're really going to lean on? Let's talk offensively first. Some of the guys that you really need to perform that you're going to put a lot of stock in.
Oh, I mean, Keaton DeBoer is going to play quarterback. Obviously, him. He's a big returner. He'll be a key player. Fernando Padilla, he'll be another returner. He didn't really play much offense last year, but he'll have to contribute a lot this year at running back. Jordan Coker, Seth Brown, the offensive line. There will be some returning starters there. And then Colton Wills is back for a second year at receiver / running back. So those are some of the guys that we'll lean on offensively for production and for examples. It's for some of these young guys that are having to step in and so on and so forth.
Flip it around, talk about defense. Same kind of question. The guys that you got to have.
Fernando Padilla, he's going to play Mike linebacker. He started a linebacker spot for us last year. We'll lean on him heavily. Keaton DeBoer will play safety. So we'll he's a returning starter there. We'll really lean hard on him. Seth Brown, he'll play defensive line. He's a returning starter. And then there's a couple new faces like Andres Garcia. We're going to lean heavily on him. Defensively at a linebacker spot. John David Vargas is another guy kind of like Andres that's really worked hard this offseason to develop himself. And so we're going to expect good things from him. And then Eli Griggs is another guy just like those two that is here every day and is going to do everything exactly how you want him to do it, and he's going to teach others how to do that as well. And so we got some guys like that. They may not have been on anyone's radar, but they're working extremely hard to not only develop themselves but those around them as well.
No doubt. Coach, here's another thing I really like to ask coaches from a team standpoint overall. What is, and it could be multiple blanks, but if blank, blank, and blank, you've got to have to be successful this year. Fill in those blanks for me if you could. From a team standpoint.
Maturity is one big thing for us in terms of, we define maturity. That's one of our core values. And what you have to do becomes what you want to do. And that's kind of our version of discipline. There's no question we have to have that. And I expect, the most successful teams that I've been a part of in the past, that was a big deal for them. And so we've tried to make that a big deal here. And, we're learning, but that's one big thing. I think another thing is attitude. That's another core value of ours. We've got to, be fired up every single day and have the attitude that we're going to get it done. And then, people feed off of our positive attitude and things like that. So to me, those are two very important details for our success. We're not going to win, like I said, any bus matches. We're not going to get off the bus and look like we're going to win a state championship. But, we got to have 11 guys that's going to fight their guts out, and I think that's what hopefully we'll have.
And dialing it in to this summer so far. Now that you have had you didn't get to go to the spring break, or you just did the evaluations, but now that you've literally got your hands on them here in the weight room, out there on that practice field, what have you seen, the attitude of the guys, and how's things coming along, and do you think you're on pace of where you need to be at this point?
Oh, yeah, we're getting better every day. We try to challenge our players to, yesterday was not good enough. We've got to be better than we were yesterday. And every day you got to be the best version of yourself possible, and that means better than you were yesterday. And that's just kind of a challenge to better yourself. And we're making progress in that. Obviously, no one's perfect. We're going to have, just elite days, and we're going to have days that aren't as good. And then, just like everybody else, we're not immune to that. But, we've got some hungry guys that are working extremely hard. We've had several, coaches comment about, our atmosphere in the weight room has been tremendous.
I've seen that firsthand.
It's been tremendous. They're absolutely working their tails off, and they're kind of having a little fun doing it. And that's always encouraging. Like I said, maturity, when what you have to do becomes what you want to do. And that, I can definitely tell that in there. And we're making, huge strides. Are we where we need to be? No, but I don't think anyone is at this point. We just got to keep plugging along and try to be better tomorrow and then better the next day. And then, come that first game, we'll see where we are.
Yeah. Speaking of that first game and the season coming up, what is your personal expectations for the rest of this summer heading into fall from this group?
I just want our kids to continue to improve every day on the fine details. And, right now I think it's, making sure some of these young guys know what to do and then not having any, second guessing of ourselves when it comes time to perform, because we don't want any thinking going on that field. We want doing. We want, aggressiveness. Defensively, that's kind of one of our things, is solve your problems with aggression. We want to attack. And defensively, I feel like we're at a very good spot. We had some success defensively last year. And I think that's part of it. We've got a lot of confidence in that area. And, we're trying to improve, offensively. And we are. We're making strides every single day. But, it's one of those things you got to build confidence. And, the more good things we do every day, the more confident that we feel. And, our thing offensively is getting the ball in our best players' hands as much as possible. And that's, letting Keaton make plays with the ball, getting it to Colton, letting Fernando carry it, and that, everyone's got a job to do. And if we can just do our job, then we'll be just fine.
Coach, before I shut this video down, I'd like to just give you the floor to talk to the community of Collinsville about the state of the football program, how it's been. How was your first year here, in other words? You just kind of tell everybody, what you feel about the team in general and what they can look forward moving forward in the future.
Well, the first year was very challenging just because of the times of the COVID era and everything else. But, it's been a great experience in terms of, I'm very proud of our community and our school. I'm very proud of what our team accomplished last year. And I'm very excited to see what we accomplish this next year. Because I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on some of these kids because we are a little young, but we're very hungry, and I hope that everyone comes out to watch us play, because you're going to see 11 kids that'll absolutely fight their guts out, and they're going to do all the small details to perfection, and they're going to be a disciplined football team. And it's just going it might be a little boring to watch sometimes, but that's how we're going to win games. Is we're going to bore you to death by doing the little things right. And I cannot wait to see these kids in action, because that's the reward for all this hard work in the summer, is getting to play under these lights on Friday night. And like you said, there's not a more beautiful setting to play in than right here, and we got a huge fan base. And when you run down this hill, it's just some type of feeling that you get that's hard to duplicate. And I cannot wait until we get to that point. I'm excited about continuing on this journey and this process to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And I believe we've got 30 or so more guys that are going to push themselves to be the absolute best version of themselves possible. So I cannot wait. Hope to see you here on Friday nights.
Coach, I appreciate you letting us come out to this beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful place out here and doing this interview with you guys, and we're looking forward to getting back in touch with you guys and covering you, and good luck going forward.
Thank you. Thank you all for your coverage. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Coach. All right, we are here at one of the most beautiful football fields in the state of Alabama, without question, Collinsville. And I'm going to let these two gentlemen introduce themselves at this time.
I'm Keaton DeWard. I play quarterback and safety. I'm Jordan Coker. I play defensive end and center.
All right, Keaton, I'll start with you, man. You've been on the show several times, obviously, for multiple sports. Here in Collinsville, there's something about the stadium, man. I unless you see it every day, it's you don't realize how beautiful it is. And when I pulled up today, just looking around, it's absolutely beautiful. But for those who haven't ever watched the game here, describe what a football Friday night is at this beautiful facility.
Well, we always start it by coming down that hill, and once you step on that field, you just get the chills, and you look up and you see those mountains behind us, and there's just nothing like it.
It's unbelievable. Same place to me.
I mean, sometimes when no one's here, I just come walk around and just look at it, and just gets me kind of pumped up and ready for the season. And I mean, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything like running down that hill in any sport or anything like that.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go right back with you here. Let's talk about this season a little bit. What has these off-season workouts been like so far for you?
I mean, they've been difficult, which me and him sat down in Coach Garrett's office and we said we want it difficult. We want it to push ourselves to absolute mats. And me and him both played basketball and baseball, so I mean we've been doing 3 sports all summer. So I mean it's been hard, but we've all been able to tell we've gotten a lot better.
That is great. Same question.
Oh yeah, these are some of the hardest days I've ever had to go through, and you know, during it, you know, I kind of get mad at Coach Garrett, but after I really respect him for it because it makes us all better players.
You got some not so nice words going in your head sometimes.
There's one of my really good friends. He's a Navy SEAL. He's just took over a team here in Edward County at Coosa. He's got a saying that says, "The more you sweat and practice, the less you bleed in the war." That's kind of what you guys are going through, right? So,
yes, sir.
So keep my back to you. This season specifically, both of you guys are obviously leaders, not just in this sport, in every sport. But there's a little something different about football here in Collinsville. Talk about your roles as leaders in this team.
Well, we have a lot of pressure on our backs, and I mean, we don't have a lot of seniors on the team, so we kind of have to step up a little bit early, and you know, just try to set a good example for everybody, and everybody's looking to us, and so we can't take any plays off. We can't do anything to have any negative impact on anybody.
100%.
I think it was just that we had to grow up really quick. You know, we were both 15 last season, and right when that season ended, we were the leaders. You know, because when Blake and all them left, we were the leaders right then and there. So I think it was just growing. We had to grow up real quick, but I think we both stepped in that role pretty well.
Yeah, people don't even realize y'all got y'all's license now. It's over.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah.
can drive a car now.
Oh yeah, I love it.
All right, so now here's my next question to you. You know, last year you guys, obviously Caleb Jones is going to set the bar real high, and you guys last year didn't have the season that you wanted, but you have your whole future in front of you. This year coming up, what is your expectations from the team, just in you guys' own words? You start with
I just want to, when we leave the field, there's no doubt that we played the hardest that we've ever set a field. I want people, when they leave the stadium or when we leave, that, oh yeah, we just played Collinsville. That's how I want.
Yeah, I just want us everybody to play for each other, play for the guy beside you, and I think that's something that we have really good this year is a bunch of team chemistry, and everybody gets along with everybody. It's not all clicked up or anything, and I really enjoy that, and it makes everything fun.
hey, look, the atmosphere here will get chills out of you. Y'all guys seem to have fun, even in practice. I mean, it was tough, but I noticed y'all guys kind of joking in between reps and stuff, man. Talk about the atmosphere of this team. Each team has its own identity. In your words, what is this team, this Collinsville team right here?
Oh, we're always joking around. We're always messing around with each other. But we all know also when it's time to work, and then we have a little bit of off time. We get to mess around with each other. We all hang around each other all the time, and it's always fun. It's always funny to be around. Everybody wants to be up here.
Kind of like a family.
Oh, always, yes.
I think, and me and him talked about this, I think this is we've been apart. I started playing varsity on the team since 7th grade, so I think this is the closest a football team's ever been here,
That's beautiful.
in my opinion.
I like that. All right, guys, before we shut this video down, I always like to do this to leaders on the team. All right, so the tape don't lie, just like in the film room.
Yes,
What do you promise to do to help this team be as best it can this year from a personal standpoint?
I think just play the hardest I can every play and just do my job. That would be a good statement.
I want to try to hold everybody accountable and make sure to make everybody as good as they can possibly be around me.
All right. You got to leave the girls alone, man.
I'm trying, I promise.
Nah, he's not.
He's not.
They don't want to leave me alone.
There he goes. All right, guys, we're going to shut this one down. I appreciate you guys. Looking forward to getting out here and seeing you guys again.
Yes, sir.